All right, man, we've got Indiana, Miami in the national championship game. I did see this game live. Had some people over and ended up watching the game live. It was a really good game. Um, and these are long highlights too, 25 minutes. This game is awesome. The national championship's awesome, but it also sucks because that means college football is done until September. So, or I guess late August. But yeah, this game was a really good one, and I just want to start off by saying that congrats to Indiana, man. But yeah, this job by Signetti is gonna forever be the best 2-year coaching job of all time, bro. To take the Indiana job and take them to the playoffs in year one and have as good of a season as you had last year, and then to build upon that, get back into the playoffs, go undefeated, and be the first 16-0 team and win the national championship at Indiana. that that is to me is forever going to be the best 2-year coaching job, at least for a very very long time. I find it hard to believe that's ever going to be topped. Kurt Signetti, bro, I've been a fan of his since sometime last year. I love his demeanor. I love his attitude. The dude just knows ball. He's all about football, man. Um, yeah. I mean, he's one of my favorite coaches for sure. Outside of LSU, man, he's one of my favorite coaches. He's honestly quite a funny dude, like whenever they cut to him in the game, they'll cut to him and he always finds the camera. Like he's always staring right back at the camera. Like it's yeah, I crack up every time, man, but yeah, let's get into this, bro.
Ordinarily a touchback kicker, bothered by a groin down the stretch, but this one is returnable from the goal line for Keelan Marion.
I didn't figure this was going to be a blowout like it has been before. For Indiana against Alabama and Oregon.
I hope you all enjoy the highlights from the national championship game.
Lined up behind.
I figured it was going to be a pretty close game just because of Miami's defense being as good as it is, and they're just a really physical team.
He's across the 35 and close to
Miami was without their top cornerback in this game for the first half too, and that kind of dictated how they could play defense. You saw Miami's corners playing a bit more off in this first half, but once they got their cornerback back in the game for the second half, they kind of came up a little bit and wasn't given so much of a cushion, because Indiana was taking advantage of that cushion that the DBs were giving the receivers. Indiana would throw a lot of curl routes, some out routes. That was a nasty move. Indiana's offense didn't, look like they have in recent games. Miami's pass rush was so freaking good, man. In the first half, Mendoza took so many shots, and he was pressured a lot, which I thought, coming into the game, with Miami not having their starting corner, I thought Miami had to get a lot of pressure on Mendoza and make him really uncomfortable. And yeah, we saw Mendoza not look comfortable for a large majority of this game.
And Mendoza throws it away as he got very close to the near sideline. Rush the guard.
Number 67, offense.
19-yard line, first down and 20. No score, 8:39 to go first quarter. A fake handoff, Mendoza out of the gun, on target, good run after the catch. Omar Cooper up the numbers near side, across the 40, and has a first down. Second down and 9, Kalon Black on his left hip. Two receivers wide to the left. It's a throw to the left quickly. It is caught by Elijah.
This is a pretty good drive here by Indiana.
Very near the first down marker on the far sideline. Two receivers wide to the right, one into the bounding to the left. That's Surratt. He looks at Surratt now, throws over the middle, caught. Riley Nowakowski fighting for extra yardage inside the 35, still on his feet. And finally down at the 30.
At this point, Mendoza's still relatively comfortable. Until this, he takes a shot here. A pretty good shot. He even ended up getting a bloody lip at one point.
Black, the running back. Shotgun snap and a handoff to Black.
I like Black a lot as a running back, bro. I love the kind of back that he is. He's just so physical. He's gonna fall forward. That was really good coverage. That was really good coverage on Becker, who had a great game, especially a great second half, man. Becker is really the reason they won this game. Along with the blocked punt. You know, Becker caught that back shoulder fade on 4th and 5, man. Oh my god. He caught another one after that sealed the game.
Almost intercepted. It was intended for Alex Bauman. And Fletcher,
well, I thought it was going to seal the game.
Flushed in the pocket and swung down. Back at the 20-yard line by the blitzing middle linebacker, Aiden Fisher. Going from left to right here in the first quarter. Mendoza out of the gun. Hands it off to Hemby across the formation. He's dropped for a loss.
Bane is
from right to left, and he's
insane.
At the 21-yard line, right into the boundary.
Bane for Miami is insane. But look at what he just did to that. I mean, it was a screen. But even without the play being a screen, Bane was everywhere, man.
The scrimmage there, the 27-yard line by Marquise Lightfoot. Tony's in the slot left. The direct snap to Beck. Looking left. Now checks it back to the right. On target. Caught by C.J. Daniels. He's down just shy of the 39-yard line. Now go quickly to the ball. Out of the shotgun. Brown, the running back. They hand it off to Brown. Off right guard. He didn't get there. Got back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. And then driven back by the feisty Hoosier defense.
I did think the key to this game, you know, the thing to watch for was going to be Miami's offensive line versus Indiana's defensive line. Just because of the physicality and the run game of Miami being their strength. With Fletcher back there at running back. Yeah, I thought that was going to be the thing to watch for in this game. I was interested to see how Indiana's D-line could hold up against Miami's offensive line, who is very big, by the way. Miami's offensive line is huge.
Mendoza hands it off to Black, running straight ahead with power as usual, and he has the first down. Miami's rushed for just 10. They go with tempo on 3rd down and 6. Shotgun snap to Mendoza. Back shoulder throw to Surratt.
I mean, just look at how Mendoza threw that ball.
Throw time after time by Mendoza.
He knew the pressure was coming, and he threw it, I think, maybe a tad earlier than he wanted to. He certainly wasn't set when he threw the ball.
And wrestled down behind the line of scrimmage as he tried to run to the right.
Kind of threw it off his back foot. I don't think we... I think we missed that one big hit on Mendoza when they ran the ball. That's the offsides. That was a pretty big play. Went from a 3rd and 13, which would have been a 4th and 13, to a 3rd and 8. And that was a really, really big penalty.
Cooper went in motion to the left. Handoff straight up the middle in a big hole. Black still on his feet across the 30 and down inside the 25-yard line. 11th play of the drive. They've moved 65 yards so far. Mendoza out of the gun. Tight formation. Black the running back. He fakes the...
I mean, look at all that space, man. That was crazy. I thought he got in at first. That was crazy effort from Becker, though, bro. That dude is incredible.
Sideline to get to the pylon. After review, the runner stepped out at the 5.5-yard line. It's 1st and goal.
It was a 15-yard gain officially. 1st and goal, Indiana. At the Miami 5 on the far hash mark to right. Black, the running back on the left hip. They bring Becker in motion to the left. It's a handoff to Black off the right hash mark. And he is stacked up in the line of scrimmage, still fighting. The strength of the formation is the left, out of the gun. Mendoza claps his hands, takes the snap, hands it off to Black, and he's swung down at the 1-yard line. I
like the call to go with the fullback dive right there, too. I love that call.
Out of the eye with Nowakowski ordinarily.
I think Miami was probably expecting Black to get the ball again, but they go with Nowakowski with a little fullback dive. I loved it.
He did not get there. Needed the 35.
Short yardage. What, Miami did not get a 3rd down conversion until what? Like, when was it? Like the 3rd quarter? Like late in the 3rd quarter? I know they were like 0 for 9 on third down conversions, man. Indiana was doing really well.
Handoff out of the eye to Fletcher running left. And he is very close to the 35-yard line. Looks like he has it. The official running in from the near side is marking the ball on the 35-yard line, we think. The official on the far sideline. Yes, it is. Just by the nose of the football. Now down to 3:15 and a half. 10-0 Indiana. Beck on first down from the left hash mark. Throws deep down the middle and has a man. Along the far numbers, it is C.J. Daniels inside the Indiana 40. And knocked out of bounds right there by D'Angelo Pons. They break the huddle with two receivers in the boundary left. Now Tony goes in motion.
This was really big here to get this extra couple yards. And I thought, you know, Miami might go for it, but you do have to just take your 3 here. Unfortunately, doink. And that was a very big miss, man. A very big miss. The end of this first half was managed so poorly, I thought, by Cignetti. Because when you see this missed field goal, there's 33 seconds left. And even before this, there was, I think, like a minute 12 that Miami just let run off the clock because they were going to kick the ball anyway. So there was like a minute 12. Indiana with 2 timeouts. They don't take a timeout because they thought maybe they were thinking Miami could go for it, and you don't want Miami to go for it with a minute 12, and you call a timeout, and they have all that time to go score. So I get it at this point, you know, not calling a timeout with a minute 12, but when you get down to 33 seconds and they miss this long field goal, and you get the ball in fairly good field position. They're down to 11 seconds here with 2 timeouts. You know, they had a couple good plays. They had, well, I don't know what play this is, but they had 2 pretty good plays after that missed field goal that got them to about the 50-yard line or so. And then Cignetti calls a timeout and throws a Hail Mary. I think if you got that, I think they ran the ball first after that missed field goal and they got a pretty good chunk. If you call a timeout there, and then you have that second pretty good chunk play, you probably have about 20 or so seconds, and you can get a little bit further for a field goal. I just thought Cignetti could have been a little bit more aggressive because Indiana does get the ball after the half. So, you know, you could have went up 13-0 or even, who knows, 17-0. So I think last week against Oregon, I'm pretty sure Indiana scored right before the half. And yeah, that score before the half was pretty big. So I thought Indiana could have been a little bit more aggressive here. Maybe they just trusted their defense and didn't want to have a mistake. I don't know, man, but I thought it was a bit weird.
Timeouts because the play clock's down to the game clock's down to 10 and a half.
I mean, yeah, this is the second play where they get a pretty good chunk, and they call a timeout here just to throw a Hail Mary. Like, I would have been a little bit more aggressive and a little bit, you know, better when it comes to clock management here. Because you're at the 50. All you need is maybe like 10 more yards, because they showed their kicker stats, and I believe it said he was they said he made like a 57 or 58 yard field goal on that graphic that came up for the kicker. So if you get to the 40, that's a 57 yarder. That's only 10 more yards from where you were. So, I mean, it's better doing that than it is taking a Hail Mary.
Thank you all for the incredible support throughout the entire college football season. Also, shout out to everyone watching on the reaction channels like Flight Reacts and all you guys. You're awesome. Keep doing what you do.
Hey, man.
The rest of the video.
Shouting out Flight Reacts and all that. That's awesome.
Wide receiver to the wide side right. He looks to the short side left. Has nothing doing, and then he gets sacked.
Miami did win this second half, though. I'll say that. Miami looked a lot better in this second half. They outgained Indiana in yards, albeit there was a blocked punt that, you know, Miami had the ball on offense quite a bit because of the blocked punt. That's the other big one right there, bro. That's another massive flag. What is it? Yeah, it's 3rd and 17. Miami's gonna get off the field, and they get a face mask.
Foul, face mask.
Wow.
Defense.
On the last third. Roman Hemby, the running back, out of the gun.
3rd and 9.
Mendoza pressured from behind and sacked. Reuben Bain ran him down as Mendoza tried to escape to the far sideline.
I was surprised Indiana didn't call a lot more rollouts for Mendoza in this game, just solely because of Mendoza sitting in the pocket and getting killed.
Backpedals to his 20 on the far hash marks. Cuts to the outside across the 30.
I was expecting to see some more rollout calls for Mendoza.
CJ Daniels wide.
He didn't run a whole lot until... That's a big run. That's a massive run.
Touchdown Fletcher! A quick pop off right tackle. He bounced it out to the outside, and he never got touched. A 57-yard run. And Miami,
it's only a matter of time before that guy breaks loose, man. Fletcher's such a good running back.
Going crazy. So here's Indiana now up by only 3. And out of the pistol from the 25. Mendoza hands it off to Hemby, trying to get outside to the right, and he does. Breaks off a couple of tackles and stumbles forward to the 40-yard line along the far numbers. The running back, Hemby, is on his right hip. 3 receivers wide to the left. Mendoza quick.
Surratt dropping that ball, bro. That's crazy.
He juggled it, looked like he might.
As good as he is at catching the super contested back shoulder fades, he drops that.
The snap to Beck, he sets, fires to the right, and it is incomplete.
Indiana's pass coverage, though, man, holy fudge, it's so good.
Punt for Dylan Joyce from his own goal line, rolls right, kicks it. Tumbling punt toward the far sideline, lands near the 45-yard line of Indiana and carries out of bounds.
Yeah, not too great of a punt.
Their first drop pass in the last.
Could have been a lot worse, I guess.
Out of the shotgun, Fernando Mendoza.
Woo, boy. Yeah, I thought the Miami defender got the ball off him.
Back near the 35.
Mendoza lost the ball for a split second there, but was able to get it back.
His legs keep turning, and he stays on his feet, fights his way to the 41. Surratt into the boundary to the left. The candidate for a back shoulder throw there with coverage from Frederic. Now the running back shifts to the left. Snap to Mendoza. Here's a back shoulder throw to Surratt, and it's incomplete.
Yeah.
Well done by Sean McDonough right there, sportscaster of the year, seeing the one-on.
That back shoulder, you know, the receivers for Indiana weren't doing too well there in the second half. Becker was about the only receiver who was doing much of anything for Indiana. And there, I thought Tony should just let that go. At this point, you're trying to play field position, and you just gave yourself the ball inside the 10-yard line. If you let it go, you're going to get a touchback, and you're kind of, you know, you're 1 or 2 plays away from flipping the field a little bit and pinning Indiana deep. It's just little things, man, and the little things matter. This here, bro. It's gonna be blocked for a touchdown. They had a blocked punt against Oregon that they returned for a touch, or they didn't return it, but they scored right after that. And then they have, this was really the difference of the game. This was kind of the difference in the game. Because Indiana's offense in the second half was not doing that well. You know, like I said, Miami had a much better second half in terms of yardage than Indiana did. And this here, at the moment, it felt huge. Just because you cannot help Indiana out, bro. You cannot help them out. Now, albeit Miami did not have any turnovers until the end. So they didn't help them out like Oregon did in terms of turning the ball over. But you can't let this happen. But as we know about Indiana, it's not just their offense that's good. It's not just their defense that's good. Their special teams, it's really freaking good.
Blocked 8 punts now in 2 years under Kurt Signetti. Joyce had no chance to get it off. Kamara was right there in front of him. There's Radicic for the extra point.
And he even doinked it, but it went in.
From the 19-yard line, ball equidistant between the hash marks. They're in the pistol. Carson Beck takes the snap, fakes to Fletcher, slow developing plays, running out of time, dumps it to Fletcher in the left flat, and he fights his way for a quality gain on first down, about 8.5. Fletcher on the left side of Beck. Two receivers to the right and the tight end there as well. Fletcher trying to bounce outside to the right again. Reminiscent of the touchdown play. He stays on his feet, breaks a tackle, and goes down along the near sideline. Three wide receivers. Marion started in motion from the left. It's a blitz from the left. Beck.
This is a crazy play here by Carson. Great play by CJ Daniels to keep his eye on Carson and make himself available. And Carson keeping his eyes downfield, not wanting to run. Wanting to make something happen.
For 93 yards, Brown the running back. You wonder where Fletcher is here at crunch time. It's a fake to Brown. It's a quick throw to Tony. Down the left side.
Amazing how right here, you know, Miami does not have Fletcher in the game. So you either, you know, your biggest threat at this moment, with Fletcher not in the game, your biggest threat is Malachi Tony. I'm surprised that Indiana lost sight of him and just, you know, got so distracted that badly. I mean, look at this. They bit on that running back so hard. I'm surprised. I'm quite surprised that Tony did not keep the attention of at least one of these guys. Because all three of them bit on the running back. Right here. All three. And there was a very good block here in the perimeter. And if you give Tony this much space with that block, good Lord Almighty, bro, you're just begging to get torched.
It's a fake to Brown. It's a quick throw to Tony. Down the left sideline. Inside.
Thankfully, that safety didn't bite too hard on the run, or else that's a walk-in touchdown.
Fletcher on the left side of Beck out of the gun. It is a handoff to Fletcher up the middle, powering inside the 5. And down just shy of the line to gain at the 2. With Fletcher behind him and offset to the right. Malachi.
I like this play. You fake the jet sweep to Malachi Tony.
Who walks in for a touchdown. Off right tackle.
You fake the toss and the jet sweep to Malachi. Hand it off to Fletcher. Really good play call.
From the left to behind Carson Beck. They fake the toss to him.
And now without that blocked punt, Miami's up 14-10.
On 2nd and 8 out of the gun with Black, the running back, to the left of Mendoza to hand off to Black. Again, quick hitter up the middle. He breaks a couple of tackles and goes out to the 40.
Not to say, you know, Indiana didn't earn that blocked punt, because they very much did. Obviously, they're really good at it. If they did it twice in a row, I thought that was going to be a pick 6 in live. When I was watching it live, and I thought it was going to be a pick 6 there, bro. I forgot.
Mendoza claps. Has the shotgun snap. Throws it to Cooper. Wide to the left. Has blockers out in front. He's across midfield. And down near the Miami 41-yard line on the far sideline. Roman Hemby, the running back, on 3rd down and 5. Out of the gun again, Mendoza. He claps. They don't snap it. They snap it on the second clap.
Yeah, Cooper wasn't looking for the ball. He got pulled a little bit there at the end. It could have been a flag, but I like the no calls, man. I like that the referees let him play for the most part in this game. They called the egregious stuff. But going for it 4th and 5, I think it was the right call. I think this absolutely was the right call. And look at freaking Becker, man. Look at Becker, bro. God, that boy's cold, man. That dude is cold-blooded. That was incredible.
1st and 10, under 11 minutes to go. On 1st down, it's Kalon Black taking a handoff out of the shotgun from Mendoza. They're at the 14-yard line, 2nd and 5. Critical for Miami to force a field goal attempt. Touchdown would be enormous. They're just 4 out of 11 on 3rd down, below their standard. Out of the gun, Mendoza. He drops straight back to pass. Pumps, throws, back in the end zone, incomplete. And they allow
and what a play call here.
The field goal team runs on late. The play clock's at 15. Kurt said that he's going to use another timeout.
Yeah, I was worried here, bro. I was worried. Because, you know, I honestly was wanting Indiana to win this game because, like I said, I'm a fan of Kurt Signetti. I wanted him to get this win. I was a bit worried here because I thought Indiana using them 2 timeouts with 9.5 to go was huge. And I will say, I was like, kick the freaking ball, bro. Go up by 6, make Miami score a touchdown. That's what I was saying. Kurt Signetti. That dude is bold as shit, dude.
That's a couple times. This is on him.
Like, he is brave.
13-yard line. He's clapping
To call this 4th and 5, and it's a designed run for Mendoza. The first time, the first time we have seen Mendoza run the ball all freaking game, and he does this. Aside from a run where I think he got, like, back to the line of scrimmage or got, like, a yard. This is the first designed run and first time he's ran the ball properly the entire game, and it's on 4th and 5, probably the biggest play of the game at this point.
On the 13-yard line.
And I don't know how Miami did not tackle him.
They do snap it. He takes off running on a
Like, look at this, bro, right there. He gets out of that.
He spins into the end zone.
Like, that's insane.
Play by Mendoza.
How's Mendoza, bro?
It was a design run. He bounced off a couple of hits. Looked like he was going to get the first down. He wasn't satisfied.
Air Mendoza.
It's another highlight reel play for Mendoza and a 9-point lead.
I think quarterback mobility is something you have to have nowadays in football, not just in college, but the NFL
like
as
you,
well.
wheels.
Yeah,
wheels.
that's exactly how they've always described it. Just
Notable.
Call it the 9. It's about the 8.5. They're lined up in the pistol. Fletcher behind Carson Beck. Play action pass. Beck at the goal line, running out of time. Dumps it off short. Malachi Tony along the near numbers gets wrestled down around the knees. 9 minutes to go now. 8:50 and it's rolling. Second and short. Fletcher takes a handoff out of his gun straight ahead. And he got just enough for the first down. First and 10, 8:13 to go. 10-point lead for Indiana. Now the shotgun. Beck takes a quick screen to Tony. Now looking.
Look at all that time he has to throw the ball, man. And look at the coverage downfield by Miami. I mean, this isn't open. This is not open. This is not open. He ends up falling down, I believe. You have this little dump off here, which I guess you could maybe... Is that... I can't tell who that is. Is that Tony? I mean, that might be your option. Because if he makes him miss, which he's likely to do, and he's got a lot of room to run. You got Fletcher, who's leaking out. That might be also a pretty good option right here. Maybe even a better option than Tony. But yeah, I mean, just it was pretty good coverage downfield all game by Indiana.
Deep down the field, incomplete. 255 yards for IU, 233 for the U. Back to pass. Launches a deep one.
I mean, he's throwing some pretty crazy contested passes. I thought he caught that shit too at first.
Here's 3rd down and 10. They're 2 out of 10 on 3rd down, but converted the last 2. From their own 20, there's a flag before the snap. There was some movement for a false start against Miami.
False start, number 6.
Penalties, man.
Offense.
At their own 15-yard line. Back out of the shotgun since Bauman, the tight end, wider to the right. Blitz from the left, doesn't get close. Bauman, the catch down the seam on the far sideline for a first down. He went up the far hash mark.
For the left tackle picking up the corner blitz.
They go quickly without a huddle. They're at the 37-yard line. 5-man rush. Beck sets and throws on target to Tony. Across midfield.
This man is only a freshman, bro.
And all the way down to the 22-yard line.
That's scary.
Engineered by Beck. 1st and 10 at the IU 22. Beck, a quick set. Running out.
And again, just not a whole lot open. Fletcher could have caught that, but didn't. Fun fact. That was a great play. They scored on something similar. Miami did. They scored with a play similar to this. I don't think it was the exact same, but against Texas A&M, that ended up giving them that win.
They're at the
Yeah, this is a very good play. You know, you got Fletcher and Tony in the backfield. That's a lot of stress on a defense. I mean, a lot of Indiana players, they're moving to the left side. You know, they're moving to their left. It's just, the blocking is so good, and Tony's just so... He just gets small through there, bro.
They snapped it as Tony went in motion from left to right. He caught the snap on the way by the center in jet motion. When
hold on. He caught the...
Tony at the IU 22.
Oh, nah. It was a toss by Beck.
Caught it in jet motion. He's inside the 10. He's into the end zone for a touchdown. They snapped it as Tony went in motion from left to right. He caught the snap on the way by the center in jet motion.
Yeah,
around the right end.
they said he caught the snap from the center.
For a 22-yard
It was to Beck, and Beck just dropped it down. It was a very quick play, so I see why they would have thought that.
running left.
Like, I didn't even fully know what was going on when I was watching it live.
Hemby behind Mendoza. He takes a high snap, hands it off to Hemby.
If he would have caught that by the center, that would have been crazy.
Right hash marks. Mendoza in the gun, Blacks on his left hip. They bring Cooper in motion.
This is a really good drive by Indiana. Look at this. They roll him out. They roll him out, bro, and it works.
And out of bounds.
Yeah, you look at the clock. They got 5 minutes. They had about 6 minutes on the clock when they got the ball or whatever it was.
It's a handoff to Black.
And they put together a tremendous drive right here, bro.
Black, the running back behind
Just milking the clock, taking things slow. Coming up with crucial plays that were huge. A couple third down conversions. Is this the Becker throw? Yep, it's the Becker throw. Look at this shit, man. Look at that shit! God! If it's not Cooper, it's Surratt. If it's not Surratt, it's Becker. And Becker was so freaking good, man.
Trying to bounce outside. He is outside. Down the sideline and out of bounds. Near the 20-yard line. Ethan O'Connor, the play there. Mario Cristobal's going to have to start thinking about timeouts. Out of the timeout, the ball's in the right.
And that back shoulder fade by catch by Becker is what I thought sealed the game. And then here you give up a big run. I thought it was over, bro. I really thought it was over. 2nd and 1. Miami has to use their 2 timeouts now that they're underneath the 2-minute warning. And then Indiana gets a false start. The worst possible time to get a false start. I was just wow, bro. Just wow. And that false start was the reason why Miami got the ball back with even a chance.
He's across the line of scrimmage, and that's about it. Driven back after a 1 yard.
All you needed was 1 yard. All you needed was 1 yard. And based on these last 2 plays here, you would have gotten that 1 yard, and you could have just ran the clock out. No stress whatsoever. You'd have been fine. But you're giving the ball back to Miami with 1:42, 3, 2, whatever it is.
And it's a 6-point lead for Indiana.
Which is a ton of time, even with 0 timeouts. That's a lot of time. With the clock stopping on first downs under 2 minutes and all that. This is the big though. I don't know what happened. Miami gets a delay of game. That's what happened. But when when Mario Cristobal goes over to the ref, he did this. Like he was trying to call a timeout. You don't have any timeouts. So I don't know if Cristobal thought he had a timeout left or what, because when he goes over to the ref, he's doing this, and he was upset. Like, dude, you don't have timeouts.
Did they take too much time? My goodness, they did. A delay of game penalty.
That's just a penalty you cannot have right there.
Indiana leads by 6. Beck takes a shotgun snap. He's under pressure.
Right there, Beck knows. Right there, Beck knows you cannot take a sack, or that's gonna milk about 20 or so seconds off the clock. He knows, and it was a dangerous play, but you cannot take a sack.
Takes a shotgun snap. He's under pressure.
I think he knew that he was tossing it in a direction that it's not going to be in danger. It's better that it wasn't caught, honestly, because it wasn't going anywhere.
Tony goes in motion to the left. Beck takes a shotgun snap. 4-man rush. He sets and fires behind.
Nah, they got a roughing the passer that was massive.
This is going to be roughing the passer, and it is.
It was the right call, though. He hit him a bit late.
Marty Brown, the running back now. He stayed in the block. Now he leaks out into the flat. He catches a pass. He's across the 40. He's across the 45. They got 11 yards on that play and a first down. Miami its own 46, needing 54
Good protection.
Beck on first down, drops back, fires.
Great catch.
Tony. Nifty catch on a high throw above his head.
They just kept throwing the ball short of the first down marker, and the clock just kept running and running and running.
National championship game. Beck a shotgun snap, far side throw. Daniels tackled in a big play because it was made inbounds. They stopped the clock for just a moment to move the chains, and now it's winding. 49.
This was a really good timeout. Really good timeout by Signetti, because Miami was going up tempo, and you know, they did pretty well in this game when they went up tempo. And Signetti, you know, what better time to use your last timeout than when they're at the 41? You know, get your defense a bit of a break, get the game slowed back down, control the pace as much as you can, and it worked, bro. It worked. That was a very, very good timeout by Signetti.
And a timeout call by Indiana. Kurt Signetti with his defense.
Get your defense, you know, locked back in. You come out of the timeout, and this is what happens. I don't understand. I don't understand that play. I don't get it. Why take that risk? That was well covered.
On first down and 10, shot.
Look at when he throws this ball. I guess if you're gonna throw this,
Shotgun snap, he's under pressure, he throws.
God, it's just so underthrown, man. You're throwing that to the 16-yard line. That ball needs to go to the pylon. Because that safety's coming over. You want to get that ball over top of the safety. That ball has to go to the pylon. That ball should have never been thrown in the first place. But that ball has to go to the pylon, bro. That's where that receiver was running towards. That receiver's going toward the pylon. That's where the ball needs to go. He would have beaten the safety at that point. He would have had a good angle just to catch it over the shoulder. The safety could have broke it up, but if he makes an interception on a third of the pylon, good on him. But this ball was so severely underthrown, man. Like, oh my god. Like, hold on, let me just go back and watch this one more time, because I don't get what Carson sees.
First down and 10, shotgun.
Was he trying to, yeah, he's trying to bullet pass it right now with number 22 on the outside of the receiver. He's hoping his receiver keeps inside positioning and is able to, you know, just seal off the DB a little bit. I think that's what he's seeing, but the receiver's not looking for the ball until now. And the DB was looking the entire time. Just an incredible play by the DB to look for the quarterback and the ball the entire time. The receiver was expecting the ball toward the pylon, probably. That's probably what he thought. So they weren't on the same page.
Throws, and it is intercepted at the near 15-yard line.
I thought bro hurt himself there, too.
With the interception. And Indiana's going to win the national championship.
That was just...
On the first turnover of this game.
I didn't get it, bro.
2 years ago, they were the all-time losingest program in major.
I feel bad for Miami, man.
Now they're going to be an undefeated national champ. Mendoza.
They fought their asses off in this game, man. Miami did. Major props to Miami for giving Indiana a fight like they did when Bama and Oregon couldn't do it, man. Indiana
wins the national championship. This brings an end to the college football season. I hope you all enjoyed my coverage from it. Next up, we have college baseball and softball starting in early February. So I hope you all stick with the channel for that.
All right, man. Yeah. Props to Miami for fighting in this game, man, because Indiana was a team on a freaking mission this entire playoff, and yeah, it was... I didn't think it was going to be as bad of a game as the Oregon or Alabama game, but just because Miami has a really good defense and they're really physical. But Indiana, even when faced with a close game like this, they were able to make the plays necessary to win the game. And, you know, they win in a lot of different ways, man. Even in a game where the offense isn't exactly clicking, it was still clicking enough, you know? When you have as many playmakers as you do, like Surratt and Black at running back, you have Cooper, you have Becker, Mendoza. somebody at some point is gonna make a play, and Becker and Mendoza in the end of this game, as well as the special teams on the blocked punt, those three all made the biggest plays of this game. That blocked punt was absolutely massive. The Mendoza run on fourth and was it 4th and 5? Yeah, it was 4th and 5, I think. That run where he broke the tackles, dove in for a touchdown, that was freaking huge. Um, Becker had the 4th and 5 catch on the fade route, the back shoulder. He had the one later in the game on I think a 3rd and 7 that with like 3 minutes to go. I thought that was gonna do it. I mean, just an incredible season by Indiana. Like I said at the start of the video, for me, this is probably always gonna be the best 2-year coaching job I've ever seen, man. Props to Kurt Signetti. It's crazy what he's done with Indiana in just 2 years, and I'm excited to see what he can do with them moving forward. Um, it's been a busy time for Kurt Signetti in Indiana too, as well as Miami. Having to prepare for this game, and all the press conferences and everything leading up to this. The practices, the film study, on top of having to hit the transfer portal and get your team figured out for next year. Like, the transfer portal honestly should have opened up tonight at midnight. Right after this game ended, it should have opened up at midnight. You got your 2 weeks after this game to sort out your roster, what players are going to be staying, who you're going to go get. You know, it's it's a tough calendar, man, and it kind of needs to change. But yeah, congrats to Indiana, man. Um, Incredible freaking season by y'all. And yeah, hope y'all enjoy. If they please drop a like, hit that subscribe button. I'll catch y'all in the next one, man.